While it was pretty disappointing that the Egyptian God decks didn't feature any new World Premiere cards, I think it's important to remember that the OCG imports were very good. Soul Crossing is one of the best new support cards in either of the decks. It turns whatever God card you want into a sphere mode, which is obviously very strong. While the Egyptian gods are still not competitive, they are a lot better off than they were just a few months ago. In today's video, I want to answer the question, can you win with Slifer the Sky Dragon in 2021? And the answer is yes. It is a lot easier to play Slifer right now than it probably ever has been in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Soul Crossing is a great card, Thunder Force Attack is a pretty flashy way to end games, and I think if you want to try out an Egyptian God deck, right now is a great time to do that. I have been playing different Slifer decks on my Twitch stream over the past few weeks, and in today's video I want to talk about what I feel are the 3 best versions of the deck. After talking about these 3 decks, I'll show you guys some gameplay from my favorite version, and then at the very end I'll show you my current deck profile for that Slifer deck. So the first deck that I want to talk about is Numeron Network Slifer. Now, House of Champions actually just featured this deck on his channel yesterday, and I think his version is a lot better than mine, so I'll make sure to link that one in the description below. But the basic idea is that you use Numeron Network and Numeron Calling to put 4 tributes on the board for Slifer the Sky Dragon. Where the deck gets really good though is that Memories of Hope allows you to draw 4 cards, which not only gets you to Slifer, but it will boost up the Slifer's attack points as well. This deck is very customizable. You can pretty much play whatever other engines you want to in it, but the Numeron Network is the core part that is very important. I think this is a very fun way to play Slifer the Sky Dragon. It also gives you some OTK potential when you're going second, so I think that this one will be quite popular with a lot of players. The next one is Slifer Monarchs, and this makes a lot of sense. Monarchs are all about tribute summoning, so obviously they're going to be a good pair with any Egyptian god. I think the Monarch support cards do help out quite a bit. They do add a level of consistency to the Slifer cards. You have a lot of ways to search, you have a lot of ways to draw cards to fill your hand, and Slifer the Sky Dragon when paired with Domain is a pretty deadly lock that'll beat most modern decks. I do want to mention that this pairing is not entirely perfect though, but you can play around it a little bit. Basically, it's important to know that when Slifer is normal summoned, cards and effects cannot be activated, and that means that the Heavenly Squire and Return of the Monarchs will not work if you normal summon Slifer the Sky Dragon. The third version of Slifer the Sky Dragon is King's Court Slifer the Sky Dragon, and I feel like this is going to be a good way to play Slifer in the future. King's Court got revealed a few days ago, last Friday if I remember correctly, and in that set they have a lot of cards that can work with Slifer. You have cards like Joker's Knight that can act as free tribute fodder, you have a new quick play spell that can search Slifer if you have Kings, Queens, and Jack's Knight, and then you get to normal summon it immediately, so I think that Slifer the Sky Dragon with the new King's Court cards could be a pretty good way to play a Slifer deck. I haven't really gotten a chance to test that version that much though, because those cards are currently not working on YGO Omega, which is the app that I use to play Yu-Gi-Oh, but maybe if I get a chance to play it in the future, I'll have to talk about it again if you guys are interested in hearing about it. I want to mention here though that unfortunately, even with the new support, you're not really making any decks better by adding in the Slifer the Sky Dragon engine. It simply is still too inconsistent to actually work in any sort of competitive capacity, but it is a lot easier to play and summon the card, and I think it's a lot of fun. So in today's video, you'll mostly see me goofing around with Slifer Monarchs. I'm not trying to say that this is a serious competitive deck. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay, and make sure to stick around until the end when we'll show off the current deck profile for Slifer Monarchs. So you play this, you draw a card, and then you special it. Okay. If we draw in the Slifer, we actually have it right here, which is pretty cool. Not sure how likely that is. Probably should have said Domain, that'd be the better play for sure, but I want to try to draw in Slifer. Come on, Slifer. Damn it. He gave us Pantheism? Okay, now we can draw in a Slifer. Here we go. Come on, Slifer. We did it! Wait, what? Why can't I special summon this? Oh, because I've activated probably something that locks me into the... Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. Oh man, it's fine. It's not that I have monsters, it's that the Edea, or the Eidos, why the fuck did this not trigger? What? Wait, oh, the Slifer prevents it from triggering? That's terrible. Oh, that's so bad. That almost makes me want to rethink the entire deck. I mean, probably not, but that is definitely pretty sad. The God cards say that when they're normal summoned, cards and effects cannot be activated, which includes your own. So if you tribute the Edea, it does not trigger. So holy shit, that is really bad for us. Maybe should have set the escalation, actually. So you have to do this whole little combo before you summon either of these cards. That's good to know. Nice. It's possible the Slifer is actually locking him down right here, which would be pretty cool. Okay. First things first. Maybe activate this. Tenacity, Pantheism. Probably should have added Domain, actually. Maybe it'll give me the Tenacity. Nice. Okay. We're doing it. Oh, I can't activate that because oh, interesting. Okay. Sorry, I haven't played with this pendulum before, so I have to get used to it a little bit because it is kind of weird. This somehow isn't even lethal. That's really sad. Okay, so if we would have summoned the Prime Monarch on our last end phase, we actually could have won the game right there, but it's alright. Slifer Lockdown Brutal. I knew it was meta. Broken. Slifer's one of those cards where you actually don't really get to see how much it locks your opponent down because they're just not going to play into it. So if his hand is all cards that play into Slifer, it's not like we're ever going to learn. No, not activate. No, I wanted to summon it. Cannot be normal summoner set. Okay. Oh, interesting. Let's go, Slifer Domain. That's pretty good. This deck's win rate is directly proportionate to how often you draw Pantheism, I think. Or sometimes it still sucks. Okay, how do we bait him? We've done this before, actually twice. I think if you pick Pantheism to Tenacity, they give you the Pantheism. Sometimes. It worked! Oh my god, it fucking worked. I think that works every time. We're 3 for 3 on that. That's insane. If you reveal only one copy of the card you want and then 2 Tenacity, they just assume you have a Monarch in hand. Okay. You see what I mean? Like, we've drawn 5 cards and searched a card, and we still don't have a playable hand. Actually, we do have a pretty cool play in the next turn, I'm gonna be honest with you. If he summons 2 monsters, we can do this. Interesting. Can't he not activate Red Eyes Fusion now? Or am I missing something? What's going on here? Come on, I can't activate the Soul Crossing to save my life. Holy shit. Like, I can do it now, but it doesn't really accomplish as much. He doesn't even know how badly he, like, screwed up by giving us the Pantheism. Like, now he's like, oh yeah, like, Tenacity Reveal, blah blah blah. But little does he know that it would not have worked if he gave me the Tenacity last time. Okay, so we can do this, and the best play here, by far, is using Stormforth, summoning Erebus with Domain. That's the best play. But the fun play is doing this. So that's what we're gonna do. A 1000 attack Slifer, it's okay. It will be a 2k Slifer in a second, I think. Wait, what? Does that not work? Then if its attack has been reduced to 0 as a result, destroy it. Man, outplayed. Anyway, here is the final Slifer Monarch deck. So we have 3 copies of Slifer the Sky Dragon, 3 copies of Ether, 3 copies of Erebus, 2 copies of each Squire. I don't think you need more. You have not only the Monarch Stormforth to get tribute fodder, but also you have Soul Crossing. So 2 and 2 seems to be fine. 3 copies of the new Pendulum monster. This card is very good in this deck. It gets you 1 draw and puts a piece of tribute fodder on the board. Big fan of this card. Great card for Domain Monarchs. We have 3 copies of Pantheism. We have 3 copies of Tenacity, 3 copies of Stormforth, 3 copies of Domain, 2 copies of Return, because like I said, in this version, not as good as regular Domain Monarchs because the Slifer makes it not work. We also have 3 copies of Soul Crossing, 2 copies of Thunder Force Attack. This card seems very powerful, but honestly, I think it's probably cuttable. I'm just playing it because it is pretty fun to resolve. We also have 1 copy of Upstart Goblin, 3 copies of the Prime Monarch, and 1 copy of Escalation. I do want to mention that of all of the different Slifer decks, this is probably the most budget-friendly deck to play Slifer in, only because you don't need an extra deck and many of the Monarch cards are dirt cheap. I mean, we're basically combining 2 different structure decks here to make this deck and then adding a couple commons, so this is a very easy deck to put together even if you are a returning duelist. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel and make sure to follow me on Twitch if you want to check out some of my live streams where I try out decks like this. I'll see you later. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.